Manchester United gets some sort of revenge over Spurs after an absolute hammering earlier on in the season. Janusz Michallik is here with me for this one. Janusz, we didn't see quite as many goals, but still in true Manchester United form, just coming alive in the second half for this 3-1 win. Even though we want to talk about the second half, let's go back to the first half. And I know that United probably won't be crying over spilt milk, but we have to talk about that Scott McTominay foul that apparently is a foul according to the referee and VAR, but everyone is saying it wasn't on Heung-min's son. How did you see it, Janusz? And is this just frustrating to see in the quote-unquote modern game today?
Well, if you want to micromanage and dissect everything, right, I suppose you can always find some fault. I didn't, of course. For me, had no influence on the play. I think Son was well beaten for that. I think there was a little bit of frustration there from McTominay because Son was grabbing him, so kind of just slapped him away, really. But people say, well, it's super dangerous. Jose Mourinho spoke about maybe the elbow from Paul Pogba and Serge Aurier. That was probably worse, although I wouldn't have called that. I wouldn't have given him a red card for that. I think there's always enough gray area for the referee to do it. And if I look at, was this a clear and obvious mistake? The answer to that is no. Chris Kavanagh was looking at it. He decided to let it go. I can appreciate the fact that he went and looked back at it, but I don't think I would change my opinion on that. I'm not going to die on this hill because I see there's a flick, but I mean, look, it poses no danger to the player in any way. As I've said, Son was beaten for that. Of course, because it's to the head, so we make more of it. My question would be, if that flick was against the chest, would we be talking about it right now? Absolutely not. I mean, is it enough? Or just because he was flicked? It is nonsense because that gray area, even because the laws of the game tell you something, always exists. We just don't want to admit that it's being used sometimes, right? Because the laws aren't black and white. They shouldn't be black and white, only in few areas. But in this one, I just thought I would never give it. And Son knew it. There was nothing there. And many other things had to happen since then. But anyway, I don't want to die on this hill because I've seen it happen. And I know that McTominay flicked that. This wasn't just natural. It's what every player in the game would do. It doesn't mean just because everybody does it that it shouldn't be a foul at some stage, but it wasn't for me.
All right. Well, I suppose, as we say, the universe must have been watching because it was heartbreaking to see such a beautiful goal from Cavani, I suppose, ruled out for him. But luckily for him, he did get another one in the end. But overall, not just his goal scoring, but how brilliant was he, did you think today, Janusz, especially with now the talks that say he's getting on in age and there's links with him probably wanting to go back home to Uruguay. Is he someone that you think United should probably hang on to a bit longer?
Well, look, I mean, I, like probably many fans, of United or even neutrals, I think, love the way he played. He's been disappointing. It's been injuries, it's been issue and being integrated to the team coming in. And of course, it's never easy, but he hasn't been at his best. Of course, we know that maybe his best was past, but I expected a little bit more. But today I saw it. So we said that, that goal was typical Cavani. This is, if Edinson Cavani scores goals on a diving header, that's how I imagine it. That's how I remember it. Those are the type of goals right there in front of the goal where he's just deadly and you give him a chance and he takes advantage. Very much like the goal that wasn't allowed. So I think it was a positive. There were a lot of positives because Paul Pogba was absolutely outstanding. I think when we do these clips, not because he's Paul Pogba, but more often than not, we've been negative over the years. Probably sometimes for the right reasons and a lot of times for the wrong reasons, just because he's Paul Pogba. So we all know that no matter what we say here, people are going to listen to it. And that's credit to him, by the way, because he's a very good player that hasn't shown consistency under Jose Mourinho, obviously, and even for Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. But I thought he was very, very good in all facets of the game today. I mean, he was making the right decision. He was working well on both sides of the ball. I think he was playing simple and quick. It was as good as I remember. I don't know when was the last time where I was as impressed with Paul Pogba as I was with him today.
Well, thank you very much for watching ESPN on YouTube. For more sports highlights and analysis, be sure to download the ESPN app. And for live streaming, premium content, and let's not forget as well, ESPN FC 7 days a week. Subscribe to ESPN+.